Eyes on Corruption, Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, GCSDN presents Eyes on Corruption, a weekly x-ray of social and political issues. Eyes on Corruption, an expose on issues that bother on corruption-related practices in Nigeria. Eyes on Corruption, informative, educative, and enlightening. Eyes on Corruption, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Join us on our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and our website, gcsdn.org. Host, J. Ehizefua Ohali.
Hello, good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is J. Ehizefua Ohali, the regular host on the program, Eyes on Corruption. This is a program that comes to you every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, and we are reaching you from multiple social media platforms, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course, our website, gcsdn.org. The program is Eyes on Corruption, program where we x-ray social political issues that borders on corruption and corrupt practices in Nigeria. And the topic for today is the political class is taking Nigerians for a ride for too long. There has been a lot of issues that have happened in Nigeria in recent times, and this calls for concerted efforts for all concerned citizens to be worried about and to speak out about and to do the needful to ensure that the status quo does not continue and for the citizens to have a better lease of life. Concerned citizens must begin to speak out, talk to the government, sensitize the nation, the citizens, the masses, on ways to do better and to improve the status quo, the situation for the betterment of us all, and so that the nation and its citizens will be able to bequeath a better nation to our children and our children's children. On this note, I will just go on a short break and we'll be back. I'm going to share my screen and make sure what I have here gets to you. All right, thank you and welcome back. Today's topic is the Nigerian politicians and the political class have taken Nigerians for a ride for too long. Do you believe this? If that is true, what needs to be done? Granting the fact that the electioneering process for 2023 general election is galvanizing the momentum. On this note, I will start off by saying thank you and welcome to the program. Like, share, put your comment across, and we will be glad to have your comments and suggestions and inputs. This is a program that comes to you every Thursday night, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Nigerian time. And there are other programs that are aired on this platform on a daily basis. So watch out for such programs. Go to our website, gcsdn.org, and you see a number of all such programs. Or you go to YouTube, GCSDN, YouTube, or Facebook, and so many of our programs to sensitize the Nigerian populace and charity works are all displayed there. Thank you and welcome to the program on this day. Okay, right, here we go. The topic is the political class has taken Nigerians for a ride for too long. They have been busy satisfying their criminal self-interest at the expense of the teeming, impoverished masses, stealing and looting our commonwealth, giving themselves and their collaborators juicy appointments and further opportunities to loot the nation dry. Corruption here, there, and everywhere, and inflation is soaring high. In the midst of all these, the nation's resources are never properly and adequately channeled towards the provision of basic living infrastructures and other enabling institutional structures for developmental purposes. What we end up getting after over half a century of oil production in the country that is labeled as one of the 6 largest producer of petroleum products in the world, are dilapidated and overstretched roads constructed with substandard materials and over-inflated contract sums. Hospitals that can be likened to mere mortuaries and consulting clinics, almost non-existent public schools, where politicians are springing up private schools and universities all over the country with exorbitant fees that are beyond the reach of the middle class. To say it mildly, a sorry state of affairs that has degenerated to what words cannot adequately describe. There is massive unemployment, there's unimaginable hunger in the land, criminal tendencies among the political class, whose stock in trade is how to cling power at all costs, and their acts have fueled terrorism in the land as they recruit thugs and all kinds of human beings arm them with guns and ammunition to fight the opponents and intimidate voters. In Senate climes, most of these people we refer to as honorables and excellencies will be languishing in jails for various offenses. But this is Nigeria. They are rewarded with titles from the spiritual, traditional, community, and professional sectors, just for being inefficient and for stealing our collective wealth. Because they use the money stolen to acquire these titles from the respective awardees. How can one explain to the world that a sitting central bank governor is partisan? How can one comfortably explain to the world that an accountant general of the Federation is helping himself out with the nation's treasury? How can one confidently explain to the world this level of nepotistic acts of the president of the nation, never seen anywhere else in the world, where key positions of trust are given to in-laws, nephews, close Fulani brothers, and other very close persons to the family, and fellow collaborators and fellow looters of the nation. This would not have been of concern to Nigerians if they were actually performing to the satisfaction of Nigerians and bringing down developmental strides to bear in the nation. Under their watch, Nigeria is speedily degenerating into a failed state. Criminals and bandits, as they are labeled, are brazenly carrying out their nefarious acts unchecked in a country that has led West African forces in ECOMOG. Thousands of people have been kidnapped in the past 3 months, and almost 1,000 persons and criminals were set free by terrorists from a maximum security prison in the heart of the nation's capital. And in an operation that had lasted for about an hour without an appropriate response from the country's security apparatus. Most disheartening to note is the fact that this was an occurrence in the federal capital, where the seat of government is located. Nigerians have become helpless with these caliber of rulers we have had over time. This time around, they all need to be disgracefully retired to go and rest in their homes. If we don't do that, whatever happens to Nigeria, these people take their bag and baggages with our looted funds, they go to other nations of the world and live large, even with the looted funds from our commonwealth. Is that what we want to happen in our time? We must begin to rise against these vices in the society. We must begin to act differently to achieve a different result from what we've always gotten. Because we have been doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results. Electing thieves, electing people who have sold our nation prized assets in the past to their cronies. These are the same people we are still recycling over time. They have refused to relinquish power. They have refused to leave their grab on the Nigerian state. And we continue to find the embers, continue to encourage them to do this to the detriment of our nation, to the detriment of the citizens. Must we continue in this quagmire and not find a solution by ourselves? Must we continue in this situation to the extent that we are appearing as helpless as we are right now? Is it morally right for us to just be onlookers in a nation where no one is more Nigerian than the other? Can we now rise and wake up from our slumber before we are consumed by the evil of these nefarious and wicked-minded politicians? Can we now begin to do the needful that can guarantee us safety from the hands of these people who have taken it upon themselves to lord it over us, even with their incompetence and cluelessness? Nigerians must rise to the occasion. 2023 election is around the corner, and the momentum is galvanizing right now towards that election that is coming in 2023. It is left for everyone that is concerned with what is going on in our country to focus on what to do to ensure that we save and rescue our country from the hands of the thieves, from the hands of the political criminals, people who have taken politics as a way of life, who have taken politics as their profession. They have become professional politicians and are jettisoning their professions, their callings, because they have nothing to offer. Nigeria must rise and wake up to their slumber. In other nations of the world that people around to, sacrifices were made by the citizens of those countries that enable them to be reaping the benefit of those sacrifices today. In the same vein, Nigerians must begin to make sacrifices to ensure that this nation is rescued from the thieves that have held the nation in its jugular. We must act now, because the stitch in time saves 9. A country where peace has eluded the citizens, a country where jobs are no longer there for the poor masses, but are kept for the kids and kings of the political class, who steal our wealth, destroy the economy, destroy the social system, destroy the academic system, but use the looted funds from our treasury to send their kids and kin abroad to study, so that preparing them to come and lord it over the masses that they have impoverished and pauperized. We must stand against this. We must begin to act decisively and skillfully to rescue our nation from these criminals who mean no well for anybody. Get your voter's card right now and begin to strategize and think and research and reflect your mind on what and how you want the nation to be. In that light, use that same sense of judgment to vote in capable hands to run the affairs of the nation come 2023. We must not do the same thing that we have always done, that will not guarantee us a better future, that will not guarantee a better future for our children and our children's children. My kids used to ask me, when am I going back to my country to live? This is a painful decision to take. It is a painful answer. It is an answer that needs a thought process, a very diligent thought process to give. I have not been able to give that answer to my kids as of today. So please, ladies and gentlemen, we must not fold our hands and allow criminals to run our country, allow people who are clueless, no character, no competence, no integrity to rule our nation. We want competent people, people who are humble, people who have nothing, no attachment to material wealth, just for the sake of acquiring material wealth. Let's begin to strategize. Let's begin to sensitize the people to do the right thing. let's begin to sensitize everyone to search our conscience before we speak, before we act, before we collect money from these politicians to buy our conscience. Otherwise, posterity will never forgive us. Okay? Thank you very much for listening and watching this program. This program comes to you every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. And the program is Eyes on Corruption. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.
Invitation. Principals and proprietors of public and secondary schools in Nigeria are hereby invited to register 2 of their students for the first national quiz competition on the Nigerian Constitution for secondary schools in Nigeria. Commencement date 1st October 2022. Deadline for registration 15th August 2022. Registration fee free. Venue virtual. Prizes to be won by the 6 best schools include millions of naira, laptops, copies of the Nigerian Constitution, and lots more. Please request a free application form by sending an email to write.gcsdn@gmail.com or gcsdn@gcsdn.org. You cannot stand for your rights if you don't know your rights.
This project is powered by the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, GCSDN, and the Rescue Me Now Data and Media Limited.
Signed, Dr. Edmond Iken, Project Administrator.
If you're rich and healthy in Nigeria, you may not understand what many other people are going through. Behind me is a hospital that I went for treatment for the past 3 days. I had an accident and I had fracture on my neck and one of my legs. For 3 days, I could not get proper medical attention with all the money paid. With all the money paid, the right doctors are supposed to attend to me. The main doctor traveled abroad for greener pasture, leaving people in the hands of quack doctors and nurse Eliza, quack nurses. And for 3 days, I could not get what I paid for, including the x-ray, because there was no light. The rich will be sick and fly themselves abroad to seek for medical attention. Most of the hospitals we have in Nigeria are mere mortuaries. And that is why people are dying every day. And our leaders do not care. Our leaders do not care. Those who destroy this country do not care about what people are going through. You need to see the number of people that are dying every day because of lack of proper medical attention. All they know about is money, collecting money without proper medications, with fake drugs, without equipment, and government do not care. We have yet another opportunity by next year to vote another leader. Where is Peter Obi? Where is Peter Obi? Where is Peter Obi? Where is Peter Obi? Give us Peter Obi before all of us will die in this country. Oh.